The sweeping opioid crisis is no secret to San Francisco city leaders, but one supervisor is saying the problem has risen to such devastating proportions that it is an emergency.
Well, now Matt Haney has unveiled his action plan to try to fight it. KPIX 5's Emily Turner spoke to him and is live in San Francisco this evening with those details. Emily?
Yeah, the level of the crisis is unparalleled and unarguably, folks say, all the way from City Hall down to the folks injecting black tar heroin into their veins on the street. They all agree it's a major crisis. What isn't quite in agreement is how to fix it. It might be shocking, but there's nothing new about images like this on San Francisco's streets. Blatant public drug use, overdoses hitting an all-time high. But now one supervisor is calling it a crisis and asking everyone to help solve it.
This is the most deadly epidemic that's facing our city right now.
Supervisor Matt Haney is asking City Hall staff and you, the taxpayer, to get and learn how to use and administer Narcan, a drug that reverses opioid overdose.
Residents, businesses should know how they can save a life if it comes to that.
But is City Hall doing enough?
Absolutely not.
Which is why he's also introduced a resolution that calls for the Department of Public Health to create an emergency plan to deal with the crisis. It would include increasing access to Narcan, increased outreach to those using drugs, and a plan to create emergency detox centers. But we talked to the people who need those things, and they say it's only treating a symptom, not the source.
Like, drugs aren't the problem, like, they're a solution, you know? Like, our problem is like, something's wrong with the world. What's going on?
Specifically, she says homelessness, another San Francisco crisis that its $279 million budget has yet to solve. So while it's a step in the right direction, drug reduction experts say there is still a long way to go.
My hope is that we're going to start to see some policy implementation that would support people's whole being and not just their risk for overdose.
And just to give you an idea how rampant this problem is, that video was shot by our photographer Rick Villaroman. It took him less than half an hour to find people injecting themselves with drugs on the street. Now, what will not take quite so quick a time period is passing that resolution. That will have to first go to a hearing in a couple of weeks and then ultimately be voted on by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Live in San Francisco, Emily Turner, KPIX 5.